Hi, I'm Cassie, and I would like to begin by sending blessings to everyone on the planet. In this video, I would like to talk about conspiracy theorists. Conspiracy theorist is a label used to create negative stigma to discredit any person that wants to share researched information and open dialogue to get answers to troubling questions that arise about the Archontic Deception Strategy and the militarization agendas that are hidden and suppressed through mass mind control that is enforced by the controller forces. When the person broaches subjects that are deemed unapproved topics for public awareness that may challenge the mainstream narrative, the person is labelled a conspiracy theorist in order to persecute, ostracize and to victimize that person, and also to discourage any other person that dare ask for answers or look for accountability on very troubling and very harmful world issues. Examples are related to issues of abuse of power and corruption at the highest levels of the power elite, sightings of UFOs, investigations of MILABs, military abductions and secret space programs, geoengineering and chemtrails, GMOs, satanic ritual abuse, pedophilia and the existence of negative aliens. No person enjoys being publicly crucified and humiliated with targeted character defamation or receiving death threats, and so this intimidation tactic works as a powerful method to shut people up. Currently, alternative media personalities that discuss disclosure and ascension-related topics are commonly labelled as conspiracy theorists in order to discredit and invalidate these experiences. A conspiracy theory is an explanatory hypothesis that accuses one or more persons, a group, or an organisation of having caused or covered up, through secret planning and deliberate action, an event or situation which is typically taken to be illegal or harmful. The victimizer software program and its use of predator forces are utilised to enforce the enslavement of humanity through the patriarchal elitist programming of the negative alien agenda, and the main goal of the victimizer mind control and software is based on intentionally programming humanity to think thoughts of violence and hatred, to believe the Archontic deception behaviours and their Archontic deception behaviour strategy as a fear-based control human belief system. As humans feed their power into these Archontic deceptive systems and hierarchies based upon violence, lies and deception, the deception is covered up and its fabricated reality becomes an anti-human value system. And as long as humans think thoughts and maintain belief systems of the predator mind and feed into the alien software programs, they create victims and victimizers and spread more hatred and violence. Humans often exchange roles between acting as archetypal victim and then, because they do not want to be a victim anymore, they switch their role to become a victimizer. Both are forms of inner and or outer violence. One may pay attention to the cycle the predator force uses with the victimizer software in controlling human beings to enforce their own enslavement and torture. It is a mind control and or holographic insert program where human beings completely ignore unapproved words, terms or issues that involve their enslavement or torture, even if they come face to face with it. And if they do come face to face with it, the predator's ego of the false king of tyranny may threaten their life, their career, their family through this software to influence public or group perception to incite persecution. This may happen when the person is unaware he has been targeted for persecution, or the person is not aware at all that events are being influenced through this targeting software alien machinery. Leaders and those making headway in certain unapproved topics of public discussion, such as extraterrestrials, UFOs, abduction cases, alien implants, the satanic use of child sacrifice, pedophilia, the Moloch insignia for satanic ritual abuse, and so on, will be targeted for victimization and character assassination. And so knowing this occurs regularly to all our brave light leadership and ascending communities, we must do all we can to be compassionate, loving and non-judgmental, refusing to allow our mind to buy into this divisive victim software. The victim software is like a viral infection that works in targeting and in stages. One may notice that the global news and everyday people will target and victimize people that have been used by the predator unless it serves a large global mind control agenda. For most of them, the fabricated lie is believed as truth, and people enforce that lie by believing blindly in the nonsense they are told. When a person or child is raped, suffers abuse, or is extraterrestrially abducted, sees a UFO, sees extra-dimensionals, has a spiritual awakening, and it is authentic, many times they are told that they brought it on themselves, they deserved it, they imagined it, or they are crazy. And so many of these people suffer silently, feeling isolated and alone with no outlet of emotional catharsis and healing. The person having suffered horrific abuse or had multi-dimensional experiences of ascension are turned on and attacked, as if they're the predator, as if this is a way to hide the entity of the real predator. This is how the victimizer program works. It is virally loaded into our mental bodies so that we enforce this insanity and delusion upon our own race. And it is a type of denial, mindslide and ego corruption, so that we will not look at or explore topics we find hard to cope with, explain, deal with or change. As a consequence of this complacency, we essentially do nothing while we watch people of our own race being ridiculed for bringing the truth. Most of this genocide-related satanic ritual abuse or ritual-based killing is performed by the satanic races. Some of us wish it away while making an excuse. It is their karma as a redemptive vehicle, or it will all be okay. Evil prevails when good people do nothing. In terms of the physical universe of eternity, the Christos is the redemptive vehicle used to make God's children's partners in the anointed sonship of the light, co-creators that are fully capable of spiritual work in all of the dimensional worlds of higher intelligence. And for those souls affected by the fall, the Christos comes to restore the perfected image and similitude that was lost, and to open the threshold of the planetary gates and stargates to access the higher frequency of the actual garment of light that humankind is to wear to be the divine human. The redemptive vehicle contract is the spiritual mission to integrate the polarities of the energetic cause and effect of the karmic and miasmatic result from the accumulated belief systems on the planet, that an enlightened human being such as Jesus, the Christ, was required to be killed, and the shedding of his blood was for the salvation of humanity, which is influenced by the negative alien, violent religion agenda. One of the largest lies promoted to divide our race is the war over gods, promoted through religious violence. At this time, our planet is undergoing stages of the deconstruction of the cross in our physical body, spiritual bodies, and other matter life forms that have been impacted by crucifixion and blood sacrifice. And this is effectively the remembering, release, and erasure of the memories of blood sacrifice, satanic ritual abuse, and spiritual vampirism, as well as violence from the past, present, and future timelines. May we consider the source, origin, and basis of religious violence, and how violence and hate-filled literature has impacted our culture, society, and belief systems that transcend any and all religion. Inner violence towards the self and others promotes external methods of violence. There is no way of knowing God through intentional and premeditated violence and the blood sacrifice of a human being. There is no such thing as a holy war or just war. For the last 2,000 years, the agenda has been to spread violent religions across the earth with the primary use of Christianity and Islam worshippers, who are numbered in the billions. May we consider long-range impacts of religious violence and its subtext to the collective mind of humanity, in so that we may commit to remove all inner violence against our person, to remove all violent thoughts, actions and deeds from our personal behaviours. The mass consciousness program towards committing violent actions, whether inner or outer violence, is made strong, and as we remember the cross and what it has done to humankind, we can terminate all its collective influence made upon our bodies, hearts, mind and spirit. The victimizer program is the mind control software that the predator uses to inflict the Archontic deception behaviour and its divide and conquer strategies between all of us. Knowing it exists and being present, always in the moment, to refuse its program of control upon your mind is the first step at productive healing. This supports you as the individual and the entire planet. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.